You've probably seen different creators use memes in the context of their social media posts and the videos that they're creating inside of their content. But what are we legally allowed to be using when it comes to things like memes? Because we know that copyright infringement is a huge thing in this industry. So today, we're going to be talking to everyone's favorite IP and entertainment lawyer, Tony, to get all of the details, and I actually learned something that surprised me a little bit. So let's jump in.
My name is Tony Iliakostas. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School, and I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called The IP Professor that is dedicated to all things intellectual property.
Tony, one of the favorite things for entrepreneurs to be doing on social media, to post content, to make points, to even potentially make sales, is to leverage memes on their platform. But we have to make sure we're taking into context the legalities of creating and then leveraging those memes on our platform. So what do we need to know?
So I think it's important for people to know that when you're using memes like a photo or maybe like a TikTok video that people have incorporated into their videos, your use of that copyrighted material, there's the tease right there. It's protected under copyright law. So let's think of like Bad Luck Brian. Bad Luck Brian is a yearbook photo that kind of went wrong with this guy just having the worst smile ever, and he has massive braces. And as a result of that photo landing on the internet, it became the butt of so many different jokes for almost 2 decades as a result of its popularity. Even beyond Bad Luck Brian, you have girls or the girl that is smiling with the fire behind her. That photo also kind of went viral and had taken a life of its own. You have videos of babies falling that people, social media creators decide to sample that and put that in their videos. Or we could go on and on. There are tons of different ways that people take other copyrighted work and recreate it. And so the main question with memes that everybody should ask is your use of that copyrighted material going to be protected under fair use? The reason why we're jumping right straight into the fair use question is because typically when you're using copyrighted material in the manner of a meme, memes are designed to provide some type of commentary or criticism of something. So it's kind of like when, I think of like the guy that does that blink where he's like, it's the one that everybody knows of, where it's just his eyes and he's like blinking, right? So it's like, when let's say you had a caption on Twitter that said something like, when I asked for Pepsi and they told me that Coca-Cola is only available, or and it's like not the worst caption ever. But if you put that as the caption and then you had that video or that GIF as the supplement to that caption, what you're doing is you're providing a commentary that the caption pairs well with that specific asset. And that's important for everybody to know. When you're using somebody else's copyrighted material in the manner of a meme, typically you're providing some type of commentary, you're providing some type of criticism. That is generally speaking the norm. Now, it can become a bit problematic with situations like photos. So, for example, I am shocked to this day that the yearbook photographer for Bad Luck Brian has not gone after everybody that has used that photo because, being in, I've worked in the rights and clearances space for close to 9 years now. Yearbook photographers are probably some of the most litigious photographers you're ever going to meet. And especially in this context where it's a professional photograph, you're using the 4 corners of the photo, its entirety, aka its entirety, and it's being used outside of its intended purpose, which was for a family to enjoy their child and their yearbook photo. It went wrong, but either way, it feels like the yearbook photographer could have good ground to pursue a copyright infringement claim. Now, here's something to bear in mind. With copyright infringement, you must have a registration in the Copyright Office for that work. Then also, when you first discover the work being infringed on, there's basically a 3-year statutory limitation period that begins. So if those 3 years have passed and the yearbook photographer has taken no action, sorry, you can't, that photographer cannot pursue a claim in that situation. So I feel like those are kind of those weird gray areas matters that to me have made me wonder how there hasn't been an infringement lawsuit. Meanwhile, I know that a while ago, several media networks were sued by Donald Trump for copyright infringement because there was they had used tweets that gave a meme treatment for Donald Trump And at the time, people thought that they were stills from The Apprentice when in fact they were actually professional photographs of Donald Trump that were repurposed into a meme. And sure enough, the photographer went after these media networks and sued for copyright infringement. So it's like that's like a weird scenario where you think one thing happened and it totally twisted on its head and was something else. So all that to say, not to scare everybody, but just bear in mind that when you're using memes, typically it is allowed as long as you are providing that criticism or commentary. But if you're just literally pulling a video off of the internet and then just throwing it up on your page as is without any alteration, without that criticism or commentary, yeah, that's copyright infringement. And especially if you didn't even ask for permission, that's where it becomes way problematic. And we see that a lot in TikTok, on Instagram, where people just, they pull the video, they upload it, and then they say DM for credit, DM for credit. If I had $1 for every time I saw a DM for credit, I'd be a millionaire by now. So just something to bear in mind for the viewers out there.
What do we see about that? I'd like to get on that too.
Either DM for credit or the other one that alarms me is no copyright infringement intended. Of course, why are you saying that? You definitely don't say that. Just don't say that.
And if you have more examples of things people say on the internet that they shouldn't be saying in this context, drop it down below. We would love to make sure we are getting our eyes on those as well. We'll probably use them in future videos. And if you have questions on this, go ahead and drop those down below as well. As always, you can hang out with Tony online to make sure you're getting your questions answered and to follow along with his content. So Tony, where can everybody follow you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the IP Professor.
If you got questions on this, go ahead and drop those down below and make sure you follow along because we're dropping daily tips and tricks to help you level up on the social media platform so that you can make more money online but spend less time doing it and stay legally protected while you're at it. If you have questions or topics you'd like to see in upcoming episodes with Tony or our other guests, go ahead and let me know. And we'll see you in the next episode as we continue to help you be more profitable online.